Hello and welcome to another Jay's Politics podcast, part of the Podcast 99 Internet Radio Network. You can reach me at jpoliticspodcast@gmail.com or j@jpoliticsblog.com. Getting used to all these different email addresses that I have. But I'm going to be going over something I went over on Tuesday. The audio sucked from the other side of things. Specifically, I wasn't able to get the Meets Hangout to work properly, so I'm going to test that out really quick. So I'm going to turn on the stream audio over on my side, and we'll check it out. So if you heard that test, great. Let me know in the chat. I am also going to be listening for it here in just a second. But I sent out I've also sent out requests to Brainy Beaver. I didn't hear that. Let me play that again. I heard it play through. Yeah, no. That's weird. For whatever reason, OBS is not liking me funneling the Meets sound. So I might just close down my Meets window just because. I don't know yet. We'll see. But in the meantime, at the very least, what I can do is if somebody does come in, I will record the audio and we will go through the rest of it. So, all right. All right, so let me close out that page and pull up everything else that I need for tonight. So, let's go with this window over here. Okay, and let me get over to that screen. All right, so as we talked about it a couple days ago, this is my biggest contention, is that people seem to think that this was a political post by Team Skeptic, as per their comments, and I will have them, I'll read them out later, but I don't see it as political. Jared did enjoy, or not enjoy, Jared did in fact could see the political point, and I can see it because he's talking about his Team Skeptic's talking about his brother being on the Lincoln, and that Lincoln's going over to the Persian Gulf to face down Iran. The point I'm trying to make, and the point that I was trying to make, is that the point that Team Skeptic was trying to make was not a political one in and of itself. People themselves took it as political and therefore made it politics or political. My thought on this is, what is political? What is politics on social media? How do we define what is political? Obviously, me talking about politics and things like that makes it political. But if I were to say, hey, please, have thoughts, prayers, whatever, good vibes, whatever you want, because so-and-so is, that I know is going off to boot camp or whatever. Is that political in and of itself? No. Not in my opinion. Now, if I were to say so-and-so is going off to boot camp to support this country and all of its politicians, etc., then I could see maybe making the point of politics. But at the same time, I don't see it that way. The politics in social media, I think, gets blown out of proportion, or the seeing of politics and everything on social media gets blown out of proportion, in my opinion. I mean, people make a statement about anything that somebody could get offended over or hurt by, and they end up thinking that it means that it's how do I want to put it? They feel that it means that it you're attacking them politically. Like, just as for an example, I I don't agree with Trump on policies X, Y, and Z, but on A, B, and C I do. I'm automatically labeled a Trump supporter and that I'm an evil bigot or whatever. Whereas if I were to support, say, Bernie Sanders, I'm I'd be considered, on the good side of things. It's really weird how if you're talking about politics, whether you're trying to toe the line or not, you'll be deemed one way or the other, evil or not evil. You know. But if I make just a statement about anything that's not truly in and of itself political, why is that considered political? And again, I'm using Team Skeptic's example here. I understand what Jared was saying, and I agree with it to an extent that you could make out that it is political with, section USS Lincoln, the carrier group being sent to the Persian Gulf to face down Iran. That's just news. That's not necessarily politics. I can see why you would turn it into politics, why some people would turn it into politics, because, it is talking, he is pointing out that it's going to the Persian Gulf to face down Iran. That's not the underlying tone of the message. That's not the point of the message. And that's where I think I get hung up on with the social or with politics and social media, is where do we draw the line? Where do we take somebody's comments at face value and not to be political? I mean, I can go on Twitter and I don't know how many, half a dozen things that I see on there could it be easily politicized by people. I mean, there are times where I want to attack people's posts because it's like, you're an idiot, in my opinion, or I don't agree with you because this reason or that reason. But I stop myself because it's like, wait, am I trying to attack the person, the idea, or am I just being defensive to be defensive for defensive sake? Going into some of these comments, like Alessandro Holmberg, some of these are just trolls being trolls. But I think it's sorry, I'm just trying to find it where I have it on the screen. Sorry, trying to figure out where I have the screen zoomed in here. Trying to bring more chaos to the region. That's just crazy. And then he's in the military that has shown, of course, yeah, right here. He's in the military that has shown repeatedly that it can go and do what it wants. He'll be fine. I can construe that as a political statement. Here we go. How much petrol does he get out of the deal? And then where is... Did I pass it already? I might have. No. Let's see here. Sorry, but if he's not a ground, you're overreacting like shit. These aren't comments that are truly needed in this type of conversation. There's one more in here. Here we go. Busted American. Face down, you mean intimidate to do what we want them to do, etc., etc. I just I don't understand why people feel the need to make these comments and just troll something like this. Obviously, it's because they don't have any care or concern about the actual person that's involved. They just want to have their voice heard. They just want to have their opinion validated. But I also think that it's just a hack way of dealing with things. So I mean, it it's one of those things. I just really don't. I don't have patience for people who try to make things political when there wasn't the intent there. You know, as you could see in Team Skeptics, edit here. Please keep your political comments to yourself. I personally don't care what you think about Trump or anything else. This is only about one person, my brother. Thanks in advance. This right here tells me that his whole point of this was not about politics, and yet people decided to make it political. And like I said, I want to chalk this up to trolls being trolls, but I don't think it's necessarily that. I think it truly is people wanting to get their own how do I want to put it? Their own political opinions out there, but don't know how to do it or are willing to do it in a way such as myself, where I'm willing to go on to a streamer, I'm willing to create a video and talk about topics. You know, I mean that's really what I wanted to talk about here was just this post in these stream and these comments. But the whole point that I'm trying to make is that why do we feel the need that we have to make comments like what I showed here? There are many more comments that were positive and wanting to praise Team Skeptic and thank his brother for his service. Team Skeptic's also a veteran, you know. While he's not actively serving right now, you know, he was an electronics technician in the United States Navy. I was an electronics technician myself on a submarine. AT2 Productions, Jared, AT2, aviation electronics technician. Um, you know, so on and so forth. I mean, we personally volunteered. I believe all of us volunteered to serve in the military. We all took the oath to defend people's rights to do this, and I'm not saying that they should be stopped. I'm not saying that they should be silenced or censored. No, because I personally think that's stupid and doesn't allow us to have the conversation. But at the same time, I wish people would think before they speak. Have I gone off on the rails myself? Have I made big deals about nothing? I mean, heck, people are going to say this is a big deal about nothing. But at the same time, I don't see where the thought is put into this. Like, I wanted to react to this and hop on the day that I saw his response, which was Monday originally, but I chose not to. I generally, when I see something that enrages me, I try to take a moment, take some time, and think about it. Because if I don't think about my response, I'm going to say something stupid or foolish, or I'm going to say something that I'm going to regret. And heat of the moment conversations are not always the best. Sometimes, though, they are. I honestly think that in this case, taking the time and doing it on Tuesday before everything's screwed up, which it's screwed up again, I don't know why. OBS is just being a pain in the rear, but that is what it is. It is just it's just one of those things. I wish people would think before they comment. You know, I don't have a problem with people expressing their political views, but not every place is a spot for a political viewpoint. I have friends that are wildly opposed to things that I'm for, and I'm wildly opposed against their things. But I know when and where to comment on those topics on their threads. I have a friend who's been raped. She has serious other health issues and just other life problems. Anytime she posts about those things, I do not comment because I don't want my comment construed as attacking her, and I don't want her to feel attacked because that's not the point of our friendship. The point of our friendship is to have conversations, and we try to have conversations. And when we get to politics, it gets a little heated sometimes. But we also know that we're there for each other as best as we can. I mean, I might not be able to help support financially. I might not always be there for her to have a conversation with, but she knows that if she needs a conversation, if she needs somebody to talk to, and she gets a hold of me, I will listen and I will hear her out. I mean, she doesn't agree with my, I'm sure she doesn't agree with my stance on, rape accusations, which is I will believe until the evidence is no longer there, because we do live in a society where due process is the law of the land. You are innocent until proven guilty. The burden of proof is not on the defense. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. But I also know that her particular situation definitely was. So, I mean, I'm not going off on a tangent here, but the point I'm trying to make, the overall underlying point that I'm trying to make here is that we, as a society, need to have freedom of speech, be able to have discourse and conversations. And if you can't respect that people have the right to their opinions, whether it offends you or not, then you shouldn't be on the internet, because there are plenty of things that will offend people. And policing the internet doesn't help. But if you're going to be one of those people that's just going to go around and troll people, or if you're just going to insert your political opinion in every single topic, think about it before you do it. That you have the right to say it. I'm not going to sit here and say that these people who made these comments don't have the right to say it. But at the same time, Team Skeptic has every right to get mad about it. Oh, that reminds me, there's one more on here. Hopefully it's still here. Where did it go? Ah, yes, Morgan H. Let me go back to this. Your first mistake, Team Skeptic, you got political. And there's no reply comment to this from Morgan saying that, where he got political. And again, I think it's a trollish behavior. But at the same time, it's like, where did he get political? By saying that he got political, it invites people to say this, to say the things that they want to say politically. I don't see where he himself got political outright, where it warranted people throwing their political opinion in there. And while I wish I could have had Team Skeptic on here, but again, because my system's not working right, I'm not going to invite anybody else on. I'm just at a loss. We should define, we should not, I don't want to say have defined cultural norms on this, but we should have a way of saying there's a time and a place for your politics. This might not be one of them, without somebody getting upset about it. I agree with this. I agree that Team Skeptic had, and I agree with his responses to these people, is that this wasn't about politics. This was about my brother, who happens to be in the military. I just want good vibes going out to him. Whether you believe in religion or not, you can pray, or you can just, send good thoughts his way. I've been deployed not on a carrier. I've been deployed as on a submarine. That the whole job was just to deter people from wanting to launch nuclear missiles at us. So I just don't know. I really just don't know how else to express my opinion here. How does this? How do we solve this? Because again, these people have the right to do it. Team Skeptic has the right to be upset about it, but we also have. We should also know I don't want to say the common courtesy, but it kind of fits. We should have the common understanding of when and where is the right time to do this. So, with that said, I'm going to sign off for now. I hope you enjoy it. Check us out at AT2 Productions tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Veterans Talk Weekly. Be going up until our usual time, I believe. Unfortunately, Jared had work, so there's that. So yeah, and hopefully Team Skeptic will be on there. I won't broach this subject again, at least as far as the Team Skeptic comments go, but I'm gonna keep my eye out on people's community tabs where things get political that shouldn't be political, and just kind of keep track and see what I come up with. It won't be an actual like survey, but it is what it is. I've also started a Patreon and Subscribestar. If you like what I'm doing, please feel free to support me. I'm working on tiers to provide some benefits to entice, not to entice, but to feel like you're getting something for your donation. But at the same time, if you don't want to donate, that's fine. Just subscribe and like to my channel and my videos. I do a variety of things, and I'm looking to make some changes on the channel. Maybe not so much of this, and maybe something else. Not that I'm afraid to expose myself, obviously, but hopefully you guys enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend, and enjoy your Mother's Day. Say thank you to your moms if you can, your sisters that are mothers, your friends that are mothers. Tell them Happy Mother's Day from everybody. Have a great day.